Hello guys, welcome back to another video. It is now Friday and we are back in the store, and obviously as you would have probably seen with the video starting off with some time lapses, you've seen how many sharpenings that I've done today so far. One of the things I was going to actually talk about, and I've probably already talked about it in the time lapse, and if I haven't, apologies, I'll talk about it now, is obviously the use of the polishing compound. So as you can see, this is what is left of the block. The block is nearly the same size as my hand. And what you do with this is when you're sharpening, when you come to your final pass, you touch this on the disc while the disc is running, and it puts a coating of polish on the actual disc. So what that does is basically allows you to have a super shiny, smooth finish, and basically it gets rid of any drag in the blade. So say for example, if you ever see me sharpening and you see me putting oil on the steel, the reason being for that is you're trying to basically take away as much friction as possible and try and get it as smooth as possible. Now obviously there is an upcharge for the polish compound. It's an extra £2.50 on the sharpening because there's a wee bit extra time taken with the sharpening. Obviously you've not that you're not 100% accurate every sharpening, but you've got to be even more accurate with the polish. With regards to the oil, it's obviously Blademaster's own oil that they use, which is called Gusto Glide. Obviously that one is pretty well worn and it's pretty well used. basically what that does is allows for a smoother finish on the actual blade and takes away any kind of, see if you were underneath a microscope and you were looking underneath the microscope, you would be able to see imperfections in the steel, little bumps. Well, if you take the oil and you put that on before you do your final pass, it basically eliminates that and makes the blade nice and smooth and gives you a better glide. So say for example, if you have ever had a look at your steels and you've got a cross pattern on the actual steel in between the edges, or if you've got like bumps and lumps which looks like orange peel, that usually slows you down on the ice. So example, if you have fresh ice and you step on the ice and you take a stride with orange peel or the cross pattern on it, you'll find you won't go as far. Now if you, say for example, get a sharpener from myself with an oil finish, or even with the oil and the polish, and when you take a stride you will glide a lot smoother and a lot longer, which then technically means that you're not having to take as many strides. Now some people say it's because you're lazy that you want to have as much glide as possible, but it's obviously giving you the advantage that you're not having to skate as hard and you're not digging in as much and you're gliding over the surface of the ice, which gives you a smoother finish on, obviously like I say, on the steel, but obviously also gives you that smoother feeling on the ice, which gives you a wee bit of an advantage, meaning you can go slightly faster. So as you can see as well, today the disc is looking pretty small and feeling pretty sorry for itself. So what we're going to do today is I will take this apart and I will replace the disc and show you the process of replacing the disc. Obviously I'm going to have to clean out the sweep tray, and obviously there is an extractor part in there with a tray. I'm going to have to hoover that out as well. Obviously this is machine maintenance. As I say, a happy machine is a clean machine, or a clean machine is a happy machine even. Right guys, so this is obviously the sharpening head. As you can see, this is the extractor arm. You take this piece out, you've got your guard, pull that out as far as you can, tighten it back up, then take out the screws that hold in the top cover. Now I must admit, this machine obviously is a 1991 machine and this needs to be re-tapped. Obviously it's not the best at the moment, it's not holding properly, so we have to put a wee bit of hot melt glue in there just to obviously hold that in place. Are you coming into the video, or are you not coming into the video? You're keeping a bit there like a creepy thing. Okay, that's good. So do you want me to restart this whole segment, or are you quite happy to kind of just interrupt my video? Right, bye, bye, bye. So we're obviously going to take the top cover off, and then we're going to give that a little brush, because obviously as you can see there's a wee bit of debris from the sharpening. Now this debris here is usually from the polishing compound, or say for example the oil. Sometimes it obviously creates a kind of paste and sticks to things. So first off, like I say, give this a wee brush down, and then I'll take you over and show you the rest. Now obviously when you're sharpening and stuff like that, you're obviously using the extractor and you're using the sweep tray to catch everything, but when you sharpen sometimes over the course of the disc, or the lifetime of the disc, now the disc starts off about 8 inches and works its way down to about maybe 5.5, you'll see that obviously there's quite a lot of debris in here. So it obviously is a good thing to clean out the machine every now and then. Like I say, clean machine is a happy machine. If you don't clean this out, what happens is it tends to start burning the disc, or it can do. It's never happened with me. I've heard obviously horror stories before of the debris obviously getting so compact that it stops the head from spinning. But yeah, this is what we do. We obviously take everything out. Now obviously the machine is off. I wouldn't be doing this with the machine on. So the next part is the key. You obviously are going to be looking for the keyhole, which is just here, and then it's a reverse thread, so you are going to basically just turn it and then take the reverse thread off the locking nut, and then obviously there is your washer, your locker, and what's left of the disc. Now as you can see, there is still debris underneath. So what we've got to do is basically pull that out with the brush. Sometimes I'll hoover it out as well, depending if I've got time. We will be hoovering the machine as well in this video, but not necessarily the finishing head. We will be hoovering out the catch tray, which is down here, which I'll show you that later on. So once we obviously get rid of all of the debris and all of the skate sharpening dust, it's now nice and clean to an extent. And then what we'll also do now is take off the arm which holds the quill, and obviously get in the back of it as well and get rid of any of the dust. I don't know if you can really see that much on the video, but obviously it does get rather dusty, and we will get a hoover on about this later on to obviously make sure it's nice and clean. Now, one of the things that we also will do is we'll just get ourselves another rag. Now, one of the guys, I think his name is Almun, the guy that did the Blademaster course, spoke about obviously using Slick-It. Now, Slick-It is for the tabletop, but obviously you can use it to clean the machine as well. So any of the areas that you usually find are high wear, example being your tabletop here, or where the guide for the arm is, if you give that a little clean, obviously make sure that it's moving nice and free and doesn't bind up. And then obviously if you want to do the tabletop or the top as well, give that a wee spray and give it a wee wipe. That usually takes away any of the kind of caked on debris that's in there. So there you have it, that is how you clean the finishing head. Now obviously what I'm going to do is get another disc, and then we'll get that on and get it tested, and then obviously we'll clean this up off camera as well, and then we'll show you how we do the rest of the cleaning. So when it comes to putting the disc on, what you've got to do is you have got to do what's called a ring test. So if you can hear the noise, it's quite a high pitched ringing noise. If there's any noise that doesn't sound like that at all, you can't use the disc is then damaged, so you're not really meant to use it. So what we'll do now is we'll put the disc back on, because we now have a couple of customers waiting for sharpenings. Put the locking nut back on. Put the key in. And tighten that up. So that's stage one. And we'll put the head back on. Now, as I said about this bit here, there is a bit of a threading issue with the bolt that I have, so what I'm going to do is put a little bit of hot melt glue on it just to hold it in place just now, just to fill the void. That is all nice and tightened up. The next protocol is obviously making sure that the guard is right up, not touching, but just up as far as it can go before it touches the disc, so the disc can spin freely. And the next protocol is put the extractor arm back in. So guys, as you can see, the tabletop is nice and shiny by using the Slick-It. Obviously It is very smooth when you use the slicket, obviously. Really nice finish. It helps the obviously the holder glide on that. Obviously it's got a mohair glide pad on it as well, but it's obviously nice and smooth. So sarcastically, there is another character to be unlocked, aka Henry. Henry's going to help me clean this machine because obviously it's overdue. So guys, not a lot of people have actually seen this when it comes to the skate sharpening and stuff like that. Obviously the machine has an extractor inbuilt. As you can see, this is what's in here. Obviously it's an old machine, so there is a bit of the foams falling down. Considering it's been through being left outside and being in a fire, it seems to be quite good considering. Just shows you how good these machines actually are and how well they're made. Obviously this is the other side of the extractor. This is where you have your filter, and obviously it is absolutely bogging in here. Now again, for the American and Canadian people, bogging means dirty. So guys, as you can see, the machine is now spotless, nice and clean. So off camera, obviously, I took the filter out and hoovered the filter, cleaned that all out, gave it a wee tap outside to get rid of any of the debris that was sitting inside it, and hoovered that off as well. Obviously you're meant to kind of change the filter every kind of, say for example, every kind of so many months, but we seem to find that if you clean the filter out, you get a wee bit extra time out of them.
Hi everyone, so Stephen just wants us to wrap everything up today. It's the end of a Friday, it's been quite busy. We've had quite a few customers in, and we've had some visits from very close friends that came over to see us, so we had a coffee with them. Whilst that was all going on, I managed to work on the new website, and I know you are all getting pretty sick of listening to the website, but unfortunately it's a big part of what we're doing just now. We've got all the Bauer products on, images on, and everything structured, ready for the new season. Then we've got the Warrior products to put on, then we'll circle back around and put the CCM products on, then it should be ready to be designed. The front end done. That'll be it, hopefully.
Hopefully we'll go live soon.
Hopefully. I'm kind of aiming for the end of July, but we're running out of July, so I'm getting nervous. Maybe we'll say the end of August, because I don't know if we'll get to the end of July.
Well, suppose we could always advertise for somebody to come and help us with the website if anybody's interested.
We can pay you in tea and biscuits,
skate sharpenings
and maybe a roll of tape. If anybody knows how to work Shopify and potentially wouldn't mind lending a hand, then please, by all means, send us a message. We will bite your hand off. Product loading, we know what to do. Everything else, we have not got a Scooby. So anybody wants to help, give us a shout.
So that's Pam's kind of sign off, and my kind of sign off is obviously I'm going to show you the disc that came off the machine, and obviously in comparison to the new disc. So this is the disc that came off the machine, and this is the disc that was going back on. So obviously, as you can see, how much of a difference you get. Now these discs, there is some machines out there that you can keep sharpening with this all the way up to the kind of the paper the paper guide. But for me personally, I just prefer to sharpen with something that's slightly bigger. The bigger disc, in my opinion, gives you a slightly better finish on hockey boots. Now, in comparison, the smaller disc, in my opinion, gives a better finish on figure skates. So, because obviously you've got the toe pick to kind of sharpen round about, you usually find it's easier to get into as close to the toe pick as possible with the smaller disc. So, anyway, that wraps up Friday. We'll see you tomorrow.